Yesterday, we had a number of challenges, which I will enumerate to you shortly. But despite that, we managed to register 150,000 people, in excess of 150,000 people, despite the numerous challenges that we were faced with that slowed the registration process in some of our centers. Some of these challenges were familiar to those of us who have been involved in such exercises. You are aware that we have launched this across the 8,500 sublocations in our country. And as we had reported earlier, in each of the sublocations, we have deployed a minimum of 3 kits and 42,000 registration assistants plus 8,500 assistant chiefs as the primary officers who are carrying out these registrations. And as we are aware, with any technology, some people take time to get used to manipulating the kits, and therefore some of the people who presented themselves found the queues a bit slow. That was one of the biggest challenges, and we are sure with continued usage of the kits, we will have the registration assistants quite familiar. And so far, the reports we have received to this hour by our midday brief from the counties showed quite tremendous improvement in the management of the kits. This management is involving even very basic operations that are personal. And I give an example of fingerprint, the digital fingerprint registration. Some people appear in that kit when they have very sweaty hands, and if they actually don't dry them, the kit is very sensitive. The fluid between the screen and the fingerprints is misinterpreted. And therefore, we are training them before they let the Kenyans place their fingers on the kit. They at least try to dry them. It's as basic as that, and we have seen there is a very improved usage of this by our registration assistants. There are some places that we have a shortage of registration forms. We had banked on the fact that we have provided online availability. These are not security forms, and we had thought that a lot of people would fill them off-site and bring them to the registration centers. But our experience on the first day is different. Most of the people come to the registration centers without them. And therefore, the ones that we had produced got finished very quickly. That is a situation we are rectifying. By today, midday, we've actually printed in excess of 2 million forms that are currently being distributed to the centers. However, we still continue encouraging those people who are able to print these forms. It's in your interest, because you'll come with the form filled. You don't have to spend time writing on it at the registration center. But however, our experience shows most of people don't come with them. Therefore, we have resolved this morning in our progress meeting to print an extra 30 million forms, which will be in the registration centers, all of them, by Sunday this week. But we have already been able to print by lunchtime, by midday today, 2 million forms. We also witnessed a lot of high turnout in some of the areas in the mornings, and with the problem of the registration assistance knowledge of the kids, we continued picking the challenges that they are faced with. We have deployed in every sub-county substantial number of ICT lead officers who are at hand to continue solving these problems as they occur. We also are aware that because of the huge number of registration assistants who had to individually be onboarded to these kids to avoid any possible misuse, we are also aware that it was slow yesterday. Indeed, out of the 42,000 of them, we had 11,000 of them not onboarded, meaning that they would not be able to access the kit to register people. And because of this, we are aware that we have 4 counties that did not kickstart yesterday. We have the counties of Kisumu, for example, Lamu, Tana River, and one more that did not start. We also know that there are other counties because of these challenges that range from network coverage and so on. There are some counties that had a slow start because of our own challenges. And therefore, we have decided to review our operation cycle so that any time lost because of these challenges shall be compensated at the end of this exercise. So we expect that our teams will do all the evaluation and 100% compensate any time that has been lost. For the benefit of members of the public, when you appear before registration center, this is what is expected of you, and this is in the interest of saving you time. You will have your basic information filled in a physical form. You'll be taken, the physical form shall be interpreted in a digital format using the kits that we have. Therefore, the information you have filled, all of it will be translated manually by the assistants by typing to the digital kit. A digital photograph shall be taken, and fingerprints will also be captured. That kit has a sequential system, and like we said, it has 2 categories of people who are Kenyan citizen and who are not Kenyan citizen. For the Kenyan citizen, the kit will not allow you to register if you are Kenyan citizen over 18 and you don't present yourself with the original of your national ID card. The kit shall not allow, and the assistants will also not accept to process you further. If you are a Kenyan citizen and you are below 18, then you'll be expected to produce a birth certificate. And if you don't have a birth certificate for those who are below 18, then the kit shall not register. There are the other requirements for the non-citizen, the work permits, the passports that will be required for you to be able to register. Working well, that form, if you come with the information field, we expect that it will take between 6 and 8 minutes, and after that you will be issued with an acknowledgement slip that will confirm that you have registered. We want to reiterate that the number that appears on that slip is actually not the Huduma number. That number is just a record number, so that if there is need for us to verify any information that you have given, then it's easy for us to trace the physical form, even though one of the digital photos that we take is of that form to make it easier for retrieval instead of going through heaps and heaps of documents. We will continue, of course, to be giving you updates on how we progress. But I want to reiterate that as we expect the first 3-4 days to be days with challenges. But as we experience them, we also have platforms through which we could report. We have a very active in this building command center manned by people from the national administration, system developers, and ICT officers who are responding to the technical challenges in the field. But for the public, we expect that those who are able to report through our official social media pages and handles, they will do so. But we also have a website, Huduma Namba.go.ke, that is active, so that for those who are able to report, they will be able to get feedback. But for those who are not able to, we have in every center 5 registration assistants and 1 assistant chief. The assistant chiefs are being supervised by their chiefs, and any of them that you find and you give this information, they have the contacts of all the people who could be able to help them. So we thought it's necessary that we give this brief and continue encouraging Kenyans as we saw these teething problems to continue turning up in our registration center to make this very important national program a big success. We expect in 45 days at an average capture of roughly 1 million people, which is very achievable, that we will be able to register as many Kenyans before the mass registration period is over. But I also want to restate here that the purpose of mass registration is to ensure that the registration services are taken to the people. But it does not mean that after the mass registration period that we will stop registering people. Only that the movement of the kits following the people will be with the drone. Then the people will have to go to where the kit is, namely the assistant chief's office. So we are calling upon Kenyans to exploit these 45 days. When the kit is being brought to you, the process is being made very easy. We also want to restate that this registration is free of charge. And we are calling upon any Kenyan who is being asked to pay even 1 cent to report either to the registration assistants, to the assistant chief, or to report to the forums that I've stated here. Thank you very much. With Willie, my colleague here, who